me my theme music!
What is up, Buff Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish, and we've got a little bit of music going today. We're going to be okay, everybody. That is the motto of today. Of course, after Colorado blowing their chance to easily walk into the Big 12 championship game, losing to Kansas 37-21. Although, honestly, I don't think the score really reflects how that game went. Because Kansas did. Kansas truly put it to us, and I will give them all the props in the world. Yep. There it is. I know. This is our chance, guys. Okay? You're in the chat. Go ahead. We're going to have a safe space tonight. This afternoon, I should say. Everything's going to be okay. We will chat about the future. We'll talk about why we don't need to freak out. We don't need to crash out. I'm very proud of Buff Nation. I lost 3 subscribers after the loss immediately and gained 2 back. So pretty much a net -0, unlike the Nebraska game where I lost like 50 plus subscribers after that loss. Just funny to see the bandwagon just kind of collapse underneath you as things like this happen. But a lot better showing this week, even after that unfortunate loss last night. We'll talk about that loss. Good evening, Sugar Trask from Houston. Appreciate you joining today, this afternoon. So if you're at home, you're watching right now. You know, you're watching some NFL football, right? Watching some NFL football, hanging out. Northside, just pour it out. We'll go through it today. I've got some things to say as well about the game, some things I'd like to point out, some things that are being said online about Colorado and what happened and all of that stuff, which I don't think are true, okay? Because truthfully, we lost that game for one reason alone, okay? And it was simply the fact that our defense, for whatever reason, decided to pick yesterday to not be able to tackle the ball carrier whatsoever. And a little bit of a difference. I mean, I give Devin Neal all of the flowers and all the credit. Like, he won single-handedly. He put that game on his back, and he won it for Kansas. The thing is, unlike the Kansas State game, where I felt like DJ Giddens was even better, DJ Giddens was able to just make people miss. Yesterday, our team could not hold on to Devin Neal to save our life. We were also just making stupid decisions, trying to go for hits instead of tackles. It's just unfortunate. That is the true reason we lost. I've seen people say, well, the offense didn't do well. I've got some things to point out with the offense that's going to say differently, okay? Because the fact is that was probably the worst defensive performance we have seen in a long time, let alone this season. So, Eric, in good news, though, the season's far from a failure. To go from 1-11, 4-8, 8-4, 9-3, very successful futures, bright and bolder, and that is what we need to be looking at, okay? It is 100% what we need to be looking at right now when it comes to this. We are seeing improvement, guys, okay? We are seeing improvement from this team. Go back to last spring, okay? Go back to David and I previewing the season. And I said that by the end of the regular season, we would be 9-3 with an outside chance, maybe fighting for that last spot in the Big 12 championship game. And where are we? That's exactly where we're at. And honestly, if you told me that what I predicted then would happen, plus Travis Hunter winning the Heisman because he's locking that up, I would have taken that. Now, I get it. We had that momentum going. We were looking good. Everything was rolling our way. Things were starting to fall into place, and we were going to walk into the championship game rather than compete for it. I get it. It's unfortunate, but we've got to look at the bigger picture, because not only did we have this successful jump, but this is where I'm going to go with it. TK's comment. I just hope it doesn't mess up recruiting. It's not going to mess up recruiting, guys. It's not going to mess up recruiting. It would be different if those guys had said we were only coming to Colorado because they were going to win a national championship this year. The fact is that we've proved that in the Big 12, you don't have to be perfect to make the championship. You don't have to be perfect to get to the playoff. You have to be good enough. And this year we were right there. Now, next year, we need to improve. It needs to continue. And I get it. We're losing Travis and Shedeur. But I've said it over the last couple weeks. If you've watched my lives when we talk about the recruiting, the big key is that we are going to be better across the board. Okay, we were big time heavy on a couple positions with some great players. And I think that's exactly where it's at. Okay, North Side, I want to comment on this because this is part of what I was talking about. I blame no players. It's all on the coaches. We had 20-plus broken tackles, Northside. Last time I checked, the coaches don't call that. On the other side, offensively, we saw it in Well Off. Go watch the Well Off video for yesterday, okay? It's what I've been saying. It's what a lot of fans have been saying. This is not solely on the coaches, because our game plan and scheme is centered around what Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter want to do because they're your best players. It's just the way it is. And so a lot of the play calling leaves it up to Shedeur to make the final call. A lot of the play calling and routes are done because that's what Shedeur and Travis want. You see them interacting on the sideline and you just say, hey, just go. I'll try and get you the ball. Just go. That's what they were doing. Okay? Go and watch back the Utah game last year and the small amount of time that Ryan Staub played this year, and you will see more of what a Pat Shurmur-led offense is going to look like. Right now, it's a Pat Shurmur and Shedeur Sanders offense. So, just so you know, for instance, one thing that people want to call out is the fourth down that we ran it and didn't get it. That was an RPO, okay? And Shedeur made the wrong call because the receiver was open. Okay? It happens. But that's putting the game and the play in the hands of your playmaker to make the right call. He made a mistake. That's what happened. When it comes to the rest of the offense, I want to point something out to you guys, because if we really look at it, this is why it's not on them. It's not on what's going on. They had a good game. Okay? The offense had the ball a total of 7 times. 7 times. Scored on 3. Should have been 4 if you count the barely deflected kind of drop in the hands for Will Shepherd. That would have been the 4th. So it wasn't a case of the offense not doing what they needed to do. Because in all honesty, they would have had to score on every single drive to keep up with Kansas. Kansas was not getting off the field. We were not getting anything out of the defense. And honestly, the defensive calls were putting people in the right spot. It was just who wanted it more on the field, guys. It was in the trenches. It was tackling the ball. Okay? Go look at all the big plays. There's at least somebody either in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage that has a chance to tackle the ball carrier, and they miss. Okay? The big play from Devin Neal. Cameron Silman-Craig had a chance to tackle him behind the line of scrimmage and missed. And he went for a touchdown. Okay? So, I mean, there is one reason alone we lost that game. We could not tackle. And Devin Neal had a day as a result. So that is what we really need to point out for yesterday's game. If you want to wonder where the failure was for yesterday, that is where it was. That is where it was. We had a great season. Offensive coach and head coach, I have concerns. I don't. I don't have concerns. I will wait until next year. Northside after next year, if some things keep happening, yes, I will question it. But with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter on this team, I do not. As far as I'm concerned, we were where we should be at this point. The season is about being in contention, show you're a conference contender, national contender, and it's to prove that the model is working for recruits. Eric, you're 100% right. Colorado and Coach Prime show that they are not to be messed with and will be a contender. Yeah, on defense. Rob couldn't do any of that. Our defense got manhandled. Stop shouldn't been. Not sure what we're talking about there. Russ, do you think the Colorado offense will... No. Guys, you need to realize that this will be a completely different offense. I have watched Pat work, okay? I did not love him with the Broncos. I did not love what he did, but that was more because it was a very vanilla offense that was very plain and simple, but it was also because we had Case Keenum at quarterback. We had Case Keenum at quarterback, guys, and he had to deal with that. So I think we're going to see more under center. I think we're going to see a lot more of that true pro style, mind you, not the shotgun every play. A lot of people want to say that, Julian Lewis coming here for the pro style offense. I think it's the pro style offense that we're going to have next year. I believe that Pat has talked to Juju, shown him what the offense is going to look like under him, and it is very similar to what he runs at Carrollton. I watched Friday night's game. I loved what I saw out of the offense for Carrollton. They ran a lot of under centers. Julian ran some boot. They ran some good play action out of that. Julian's footwork is top-notch under center. Okay, that is what he's good at, and that is why we've got him. Okay, that is why we have Julian Lewis coming, guys. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's just 300-plus rushing yards. The time of possession, absolutely insane. The time of possession. You guys want to hear the time of possession? Let's see if I can get it up for you guys. The time of possession in yesterday's game. $40 minutes to 20 minutes. That is why we are where we are. And that is why that score ended up like that. The ball was never in Shedeur's hands in order to even try and compete with what Kansas was doing. Yeah, Ollie Gordon is next. We've got to key in. I think Jalen Daniels is a better quarterback than what Oklahoma State's going to have. They have a true freshman starting next week. It was his first game this week. They put up some decent numbers against Texas Tech, mind you, but Texas Tech dominated that game. And we obviously know how we did against Texas Tech. And the game's in Boulder, and it's senior day. I feel good about our chances to win next weekend. It's just, is there a chance we still get in the championship? There is, but unlikely. Where's Baby T.O.? I want to see. I'm wondering if maybe red shirt, another medical red shirt. I have no idea. He's just, it doesn't look like he's practicing. At least I haven't seen him in any videos practicing. I haven't seen him do that. I've seen him out of Jersey, but that's been about it. Shedeur's deciding the plays. Coach Shermer is just an overpaid quarterback counselor at this point. With Juju, the offense will be balanced because Juju won't always change plays. And as a freshman, they're not going to let him change the plays. They're going to try and make things easy on him, okay? His focus should be on reading the defense and knowing where to throw the ball and doing it on time. Rhythm offense is what we will see next year. Basement, you're on point. You and I are the same way. And I have a lot of fans I've been talking to that feel the same way, okay? We got to chill. We got to relax. Everything is going to be okay. The offense is going to be different next year. Trust me. Trust me. And if it's not, yes, I will put all the blame on Pat Shermer. I will be the first to call for his firing if that doesn't happen. I have to believe Juju wouldn't commit to Colorado if he wasn't comfortable with the plays around the play caller. Yep. Who the heck's Baby T.O.? How he get that name and never played it down? Cordell Russell, that was his high school nickname. We need a tight end that can block. We need just a tight end. We need a tight end to help out the system. And Julian Lewis likes to use his tight ends. Okay, they're doing full sets with tight end, bootlegs, tight end bleeding out the back end was one of the touchdowns they got. He got 2 touchdowns to his tight end. We need a tight end. So I think that's going to be a priority this year. Probably in the portal again. But I don't think we're going to be going the FCS route anymore with tight ends. I think we're going to be looking for a big boy. Okay? Kansas proves to me that portal O-line is not. Nope, it isn't. But here's the thing, Northside. We weren't going to build the O-line from within. We had nothing to start with. The cupboard was bare. We needed to figure a quick solution out, and that's what we tried to do. Now, going forward, is that what we're doing? No. And look at the recruiting. Okay? Jordan Seat. Cash Cleave. Chauncey Gooden. We're trying to get Michael Carroll here. Okay? Brett Colajay. Trust me. The high school recruits and the long-term build of the offensive line is coming. So don't need to worry about it. Don't need to worry about it, okay? Them big shoes to fill to be calling somebody Baby T.O. Well, of course. But it's a high school nickname, okay, guys? It's a high school nickname, and that's his handle on Twitter. That's his handle on Twitter. CU will continue to build in the trenches. Yeah, it'll be okay, guys. It will be okay. Things are going to be fine with that going forward. Okay, but to close out yesterday's game, to close out on my thoughts, I just said it. I mean, it was straight up. We couldn't tackle. We couldn't make the plays that we needed to defensively. And when you don't stop a team and make them either turn over the ball or have to punt, you're not going to be a successful team no matter what you got on offense. Okay, guys? And that is correct. And TK, I've said this all along. He's not in the picture. Oh, not out of the picture? We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, okay? We've got some great wide receiver commits. Now, if Quentin Gibson ends up not coming to Colorado, which I'm hearing he's getting some more interest from different teams, then maybe we go back to Winston Watkins. I just don't think we're going to go 4 wide receiver deep in recruiting. How do you feel about the screen passes, laterals, play after play? I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. This offense right now is kind of backyard, and even, again, you watch well off, and that's what Shador and Travis is saying. Let's do that backyard route. It's either deep and then run around like crazy, or it's quick screen, tunnel screens down the field, and they go. Northside, I get it. It's that way. I'm gonna give this coaching staff, again, they have improved. They have improved over what we got last year. Remember, we lost to Stanford after having a 28-0 lead last year. Okay? Game management was so poor last year, and I get that it isn't perfect this year, but it's better. It's better. We won the games that we had those big leads in. Okay? So I think we're good. See, you can't say this. KU doesn't suck, okay? So here's a couple things with KU. One, they've beaten 3 ranked opponents in a row. This is the KU that people thought that we were going to get at the beginning of the season. KU was predicted to be a top team in the conference. They had a horrible start, and they've done much better. I will give them all the praise in the world. I'm not going to just say they suck and that we only lost because we suck. They're a good team, and here's the other thing about them. They're a team of very old players across the board. You guys go look at the roster. It's a lot of 4th and 5th year seniors on that team. Okay, there is a big reason that they did what they were able to do. And you know, that's just hats off to KU. I will give all my praise. They are looking a much better team than they were at the beginning of the season. And I even said last week, go back and look. I said last week, you know, they were the hardest team left. I said it actually before our game before that. They're our hardest game left because they were coming on strong. Coming on real strong. Oklahoma State and Ollie Gordon are going to install similar run schemes against Colorado this Friday. Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be up to the defense. Are they going to tackle? Because had we tackled yesterday, that game is different. It just is. So Coach Prime's got to challenge them. The defense has got to challenge. Robert Livingston has to challenge them to tackle the ball carrier and bring him down. We're 1 week removed from holding Utah to 30 yards rushing, guys. And Utah is a run-heavy team, very similar, okay? Don't worry about it. With Juju, I think they will put the reins on him for most of the first year. I think they will pull the reins. Yeah, that's what I think. Make it easy. It's backyard football offense. Can't wait to see next year's. We're going to run the ball this Friday. We'll see. I understand the defense was linked to this game. However, we need a run game. KU had the ball for 40-plus minutes. Yeah, but Adrian, we were also playing catch-up the whole game. You don't run the ball when you're trying to catch up and keep up with a team that's holding the ball for that long. I get it. Control the time of possession, give Kansas less time. But if we give it back to them, they could just run the clock out at that point. It's more of a matter of who has the ball last at that point. I get it. I get it. Do you think more pressure is on Juju or Pat Shurmur next year? My guess is Shurmur. 100% Shurmur. Julian Lewis is going to be a true freshman, guys. We are going to have our expectations in check for what he does next year. Does he have the tools to be a fantastic quarterback at college? Yes. But we're going to have to be patient, guys. We're going to have to be patient. Russ, I saw McNeil get choke slammed. I did not see that. Gordon is bigger than Neal. Yep. But Neal has the breakaway speed. Neal has the breakaway speed, too. Neal is similar to like Augustov on our team. Big to where they can play that hard-nosed style, but also fast enough that they can break away when they need to. Don't look any further than the first touchdown when he made Cameron Silman Craig miss and then just used the burners. Okay? So I think we're good. I think we're good. Charles Timmons get the portal. We'll see. We'll see. We want the running backs to produce on close to nothing. We don't get it on 4th and 1, etc., because they're just getting thrown out there. I get that. I do. I get that. We also have to have the right personnel. Because I think Augustov is built for that, because he looks good when he comes in with no work. He's getting 3, 4, 5 yards a carry. In fact, I want to go to his stats because I'm wondering what his average is at now. Give me 1 sec. We're going to take a look at what Isaiah Augustov is looking at. Look at this, guys. He is still averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Okay? If we were to get 4.5 yards a carry every carry that we give to him, we would live with that. But yeah, we're not giving him the ball. And I can tell you what part of that is. We're running RPOs every play, nearly. But Shador's pulling it every play because he wants to throw the ball. They're giving him that choice. Giving him that choice. Yeah, TK. I wouldn't be upset if that happened. I think we do. And I think the goal for that is going to be, the shocker would be, and it wouldn't be that much of a shock because we already know his name, would be Michael Carroll. I think Michael Carroll is shooting to be our shocker, okay? Juju is the cherry on top of everything to be the future. But as far as the sprinkles go on the Sunday, that little pizzazz, that little surprise there to just kick it up a notch, I think that Michael Carroll can be that. If we get him. Russ, you think next year Coach Prime going to build the team he wanted for a college team? I think he's already doing that. I think we see that from the recruits he's getting. I think from what we're just seeing in the future of this team now that Shador's gone. I think that it's going to be more college football. It's going to be more, what do we do as a whole team? Boateng canceled his visit. I wonder why. I mean, do you mean Texas visit that he was supposed to have this weekend that he canceled? Yeah, he canceled his Texas visit. It's down to Michigan and us. Texas isn't even getting in there. We have the same record as Texas A&M, Alabama, Ole Miss, and better than LSU. Who would have predicted? Thank you, Gennaro. Thank you, Gennaro. That is what I'm talking about. And also to those people, hey, I'm hearing online. The Big 12 sucks. That's all I hear. Colorado's record is farce because the Big 12 is so bad and Colorado pays nobody. Of course, that's the goalpost moving because they were predicting we were going to be 4-8 in this crappy conference, so to speak. So what is it? But go look at the SEC. And for people to say the SEC is beating up on itself because it's so good top to bottom, I could say the same thing about the Big 12. Do we have markers to tell us otherwise? How are the other opponents? Last time I checked, some of the other schools, the Big 10 and the SEC, have had struggles in out-of-conference games this year. Losing to teams they shouldn't, or being close with teams they shouldn't. Look at Oregon. nearly getting beat by Idaho at the beginning of the season. Okay? So I want to stop all that talk about which conference is better than which in the Power 4. Power 4, mind you, okay? The Power 4. Because look, right now, CSU is near the top of the Mountain West, and we'll get to play Boise State for the Mountain West Championship. And we beat them. And we beat them pretty well. That tells me a lot. I think it's 50-50. I think CU's trying to keep him, but if he wants to be gone, he's going to be gone. And it's Michigan. It's his hometown. Yeah, so TK, well, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Boateng did. I wonder, will Coach Prime allow Rob and the defensive staff to recruit the players to fit the defense they want? I think they already are. Northside, I think that's what Boateng is. The defensive linemen they're grabbing, McPherson, London Merritt. Trust me, they're a part of that process. Georgia playing UMass in week 11. And UMass playing well. That's the laughable one. I still believe the Big 12 is only sucking when we're winning. Yep, Oregon and Wisconsin. Playing Alabama in a bowl game. I would love to play one of the big teams that everybody keeps saying is like, whoa, you know, they're in the SEC. The losses mean something. Michigan's giving a lot of money. I know. Northside, I get it. I do. Here's the thing. I have enjoyed my time with Shedeur here. I really have. I've enjoyed getting to see him play. He is definitely still the best quarterback that Colorado has probably ever had, straight skill-wise. He's still going to be a top 5 pick. And I'm excited to see what we do moving on from that and Coach Prime getting a clean slate. I'm excited to see Coach Prime not have his kids in the program and just be coach. I do want to see that. I want to see what that looks like next year, and we're going to get to see it. Coach Prime's not leaving. So all those players thinking he's going to the Cowboys. He's not going to the Cowboys. He's not going to the NFL. And at this point, he's not going to any other college. Okay? Because then he would just have to start all over. I hear people say, oh, Coach Prime should go to Florida State. So he's going to go to a team that is pretty much Colorado 2 years ago and start the whole process over again. Because is he going to take every single person from Colorado's roster over and just completely tell, again, FSU to kick rocks? I don't think that happens fully. So I don't think he's going to take a step back. He's either going to take a step up, which there isn't really many. Look at where we're at now. Or he's going to stay here. Yep. This is the key. I can't wait for him to just be coach and not dad. Cardi's, he's a silent commit. We don't have to worry about it. Oh, I think most of the guys that are committed are silent commits right now. Trust me, Coach Prime knows. Coach Prime knows. The best thing that happened to Colorado yesterday was having Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss losing and missing the playoffs. No SEC team is dominating anymore. It's called parody, guys, and that's what nobody wants to admit. The age of NIL is creating parity because these blue bloods are no longer being able to pay players under the table. There are other schools stepping up, and it's why you get the Indianas, the Colorados, okay, these teams that are surprising people when they weren't part of that conversation a couple years ago. I watched Matt's show. Yep, I will talk about that. Yes, Northside. Matt did say he has seen the portal board. And yes, for those of you that don't realize, there is portal tampering happening everywhere. So they know some of the guys that are going to go. The guys know before they enter the portal where they're going to go. Because they're not going to enter the portal without a plan. Players have learned that already. We need some big boys for the line. Yes, we do. Shedeur going to the NFL is perfect timing. Will Juju be new? Yep, he already said it. He's going to be there in January. Yeah, good point. Adrian. One of the two. Apologize if I mispronounce it. Juju is going to get to practice with Shedeur at CU. They are going to get to practice. Bowl game practices together. He's going to get to be a part of all that. Hey, who knows? I don't know if he can play. I don't think he can play in the bowl game, can he? I don't know how that works. Somebody tell me. I could have sworn last year that Charles Lester was suited up on the, was he suited up on the sidelines or just in sweats when he enrolled early in Florida State when they lost in the bowl game, the playoffs last year? Russ, if you could put a number on it, how many O-line, D-line will or should CU have? Like new people coming in or just in total? New people coming in. We got a number of players to replace, especially on the D-line, because obviously we're losing a bunch there. Chidoze, BJ, those guys are gone. But Amari McNeil stepping up. Arden Walker stepping up. Taj McCoy having some moments early in the season. Those guys will be there and able to fill. So I'm not even sure what that number looks like, but I'm going to say the total number of portal guys we will be getting will be somewhere between 20 and 30 guys. 20 and 30 new guys coming in outside of the high school recruits, most likely. I don't see why Coach Prime would leave Colorado. He has everything. Yep. Zach Branch would be fire. Any of those guys. We've got some big targets, and we're going to be a big location to come at. What's the name of the Olympic weightlifter that played at CU? Oh, shoot. I can't even remember. It's been a while. Okay, let's talk about the future. We've already been talking about the future. We've been talking about what's going to happen with Colorado going forward. Obviously, we've got Julian Lewis in the fold. We've got a number of high school recruits in the fold. And I think the comment that names it best is, I think we're ready to see what Coach Prime, just the coach. Like, obviously, he's a coach right now. He coaches the guys. But I want to see him just the coach and not the parent at all. You know? Not at all. And see what happens. Again, not saying it was a distraction or anything or bad in any way. I'm very just interested to see if anything in his way of coaching or coaching style changes going into next year. It's going to be very interesting because we've never seen this. He's always coached his sons. So it's always been the parent coach. You know, and I'm just really excited to see what that looks like because I think Coach Prime is going to just continue to evolve like he did this year, like he did last year, and I think we're going to continue to improve. But guess what, guys? Coach Prime said it best. This season was the year of expectations. The expectations have been raised quite heavily, and they have met a lot of the expectations. My expectation was 9-3, and they hit it. Guess what my expectation is next year, guys? My expectation next year is Big 12 championship. My expectation next year is playoffs, even with a freshman quarterback. That is my expectation for next year with this team, especially seeing what teams like Kansas is losing, how the recruiting is going across the Big 12. I mean, right now, TCU is the only one really doing that much in recruiting, and Arizona State a little bit as well. So that's what's going on. I don't see why Coach Prime would leave. People think if they just throw a bag, his way be buddy with him. It's a fit relationship, Coach Prime. Yeah, it's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about coming and giving him, $20 million to restart Florida State. He's not in this for the money. The money's nice and he gets paid. It's not like he's doing it for free. But he's got plans. Just think of the Rocky movie. A good one. We're going to target any SEC recruits now that there are going to be plenty of them not going to the playoffs. I'm sure we will. I'm sure that's why the board that Matt McChesney says he saw is full of great players, is because that's what's going to happen. Yep, I truly believe we can gel next year. We go undefeated with Julian Lewis. I think, like I said, across the board, okay? Across the board, we are going to be better as a team than we were this year. That doesn't mean it hurts losing Shedeur and Travis. It's not negating what they are. I just think that we can get better at a ton of spots and have a more consistent, cohesive, across the board, really good team rather than a good team and then Travis and Shedeur. I do. So we really think CU will drop a bag on top portal players. They're going to be dropping bags this year, guys. We're going to be a target. The guys love what they're seeing from us, okay? They love seeing the improvement. They love seeing the fact that, yes, the Big 12 is open for a team to dominate it and get to the playoffs every year. You got that path. The spotlight on CU. If you want to be in the NFL, come to CU. We're going to have a ton of draft picks this coming season, I believe. And so if you're somebody that needs to get that attention to show that you are a baller, what better place than at Colorado? We'll be there. I hope portal players coming to see you have multiple years, not grad or senior, because coming to the program would take time. Yeah, they did take a great step. It's going to be a mix, Northside. It'll be a mix because you do need some vets. And we're still not there where our recruitment is lasting 3-4 years where you're having those vets like Kansas did yesterday with 4 or 5-year starters. Have any insight on CU bringing in a proven running back? I don't have anything on that, and I don't know. I don't know if a running back's going to want to come here. Not just because of the play calling. You know, we could say that we're going to be different, but we have a lot of running backs. So unless a bunch of them decide to hit the transfer portal that we don't know about, like, you know, I don't think that's going to – running back's not our priority. I see Colorado going up. Yep, 100%. We're going to have at least 1 or 2 portal receivers to go along with the mass amount of talent we have in the room going forward. The bigger the bowl game, the bigger the bag for the school. Hey, that's true too. We're going to get some money out of the bowl game visit. We can't not think about that. You know, it's crazy how teams go in at deal with only having 105 in the roster. Matt Rule talked about having 150 players, having to cut 45 players. Some teams are way too big. Colorado's not one of them. Coach Prime's been ready for this already. The walk-on is going away. Scholarship players pretty much only. And on top of that, what that's going to do is it's going to trickle down to the FCS level. You're going to see more walk-ons rather than trying to be a walk-on at a Division I school, even though they could probably do it. They're going to go start at a FCS. It's going to adjust the way that things goes. The portal is going to become more important. Recruiting's still going to be, you know, what it is for a big part, but it's going to shift the landscape of college football, and we've started to see it. Colorado's proof of that. You can't tell me that seeing this massive improvement year after year isn't a way of showing that this formula isn't successful for Coach Prime. Okay? It's just not. So next year, I want to look at something real quick too. I know we're looking ahead. We're jumping ahead. I get that. I get that we can still be in the Big 12 championship. I get that we can still, we have a bowl game coming up, all of that. Don't worry, guys. But we're fans, and we can look ahead to this. Okay? I want you guys to take a look at Colorado's future schedule as far as our non-conference for 2025 and beyond. Just take a look at this, okay? 2025, we've got Georgia Tech at home, Delaware at home, Wyoming at home. Look at this, 3 home games. So we've got a massive amount of home games compared to the amount that we had this year, okay? We only had 1 home game in our non-conference. Next year we have 3. Then we have 1. Then we have 3. But look at this, guys. I mean, this is what it should look like. Our non-conference should be the way to get better. And so Julian Lewis is going to have some opportunity to get better. Okay, Georgia Tech, that could be that one's going to be interesting. Delaware and Wyoming, those should be easy wins for this team, and if they're not, we're going to be in trouble. Then we've got Georgia Tech again, Weber State, and Northwestern. I mean, come on. Colgate, Northwestern, Northern Illinois. Like, this is looking like an SEC. Look, we play UMass in 2028, guys. We play UMass. But look at that. At Florida. We've got a home and away with Florida, boys. We're going to Florida. So that's going to be a tough one. Then we got Northern Colorado. And then we get Colorado State back on the schedule going forward for a couple years. Missouri's not going to be easy. SMU, 2030 is not looking fun. We better have a good team going into that season. This one too, although Northern Colorado will be a cakewalk, we should probably start our backups for that. They're one of the worst FCS schools out here in the Rocky Mountain region. Then we got North Texas, Colorado State again. Look, now we can start maybe looking at Nebraska adding again, but that's about it. And we just got Colorado State. So it is what it is, guys. Oh man. So we're good. We're good, guys. We're good. You give great takes and non-biased. And here's the key, Mari. Mari, here's what I'm trying to do here. Okay? I'm not trying to be a homer. Not trying to be some crazy fanboy. I'm not also trying to be some of these bandwagon Buffs fans who come on here and trash the team like you're not making a living off this team. Okay? There's a lot of YouTube channels out there, Cover Colorado, that come and go, but really show up when the team loses. So I just want to be a fun place for people who are Colorado fans to come talk ball. I'm happy to get differing opinions. That's the other thing. I'm going to admit when I'm wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong. I am a big enough person to admit when I'm wrong. If somebody brings up a point that's right, if they fact check me and they find out something I'm right, I'm happy to say I'm wrong. That's the whole point of the show. So hopefully you guys stick it with me. We're going to have some fun stuff in the off season. My pre-recorded, much more like production valued videos will be back after the season. So you guys will be able to get your weekly news about what's going on with Colorado in one place. Okay. I'm not going to be one of those channels that drops 10 videos a day for 2 minutes covering every little breaking piece of information and news. That's a way that those guys make a lot of money. Because, you know, if I were to put out 10 videos that do 10,000 views versus one video that does 30,000 views and covers all that, you can see the difference. Okay. So just know that and be able to be hanging around. Okay. And if you appreciate that, I haven't said it today, hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed so you're good to go in the offseason. Have that notification on. I've had people this week tell me when we went live for the Julian Lewis, they were so happy to have the notifications on because they knew about it in the moment from getting the notification that I was going live with Julian Lewis's announcement. I've been noticing that play calling influence. Yep, a lot of us have. I'm coming for Georgia Tech. Seton, Juju, Draylon, going to be great together. Don't forget Cam Michael. Don't forget Chauncey Good. I mean, the list goes on, guys. We are going to have a close-knit team that's going to rise up together. And in 4 years, 3 years, we better be at the top of college football if all of this recruiting were to go right and these decisions were right. Oh, no, now I'm torn. I'm a Georgia native. Other than Travis Shador, BJ Green, and Block Bully, who else has realistic chance? We got to look at the receivers. I think LeJounte has a chance to go deep in the draft. I really do. I think he's shown, because if you watch the tape on him too, I think scouts see it. He gets open. He may not be getting the ball like he wants to, but he is getting open. Outside of that, Preston Hodge? Maybe. I think legitimately we could be looking at 5 to 7 guys drafted this year. We'll see. Georgia Tech's going to be a good test with Juju. They have a good defense. Honestly, C-level teams don't do good in altitude. Yeah, that's going to be a benefit. And you know, Julian will be completely accustomed to that, ready to go, ready to play his home state team. Come that. The only channel I kick it with, Northside, I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it. I see you every time. You're an OG with this channel. Knowing that Travis Spider-Man Hunter is going to win the Heisman, I can only imagine a line of two-way players chomping at the bit. Exactly. If you are a top athlete in recruiting, why aren't you going to say, maybe I should go to Colorado? Okay? Coach Prime has the blueprint. Should Michael play wide receiver or safety? That wide receiver going to be deep. We'll have to see. I want to see what he does in spring. Give him a whole spring practice session with Julian Lewis on the defense. See which side. Maybe he becomes a two-way player. Who knows? But his speed is lethal. Is there any word on Preston Hodge? He was missed. No clue. They have not said anything on him. All we have is the well-off video with him in a knee brace. Fortunately, this team does not give out what's going on the team. Okay, guys, before we go today, I just want to say it's going to be okay, Buffs fans. We're going to a bowl game. We are where we wanted to be before the season. Obviously, expectations have changed, but it's going to be okay. And we are going to improve. We are going to improve going into next season. I know a lot of people, again, will say, you're losing Shador and Travis. No, like, the funny thing is people will say, oh, Colorado sucks and Shador and Travis are just, stat padding. Just wait. The goalpost moving next year will be that we don't have Travis and Shador. even though they didn't give us credit when we had Travis and Shador. So that's what's going to happen next year. Let's enjoy this week. By the way, I am going to the Oklahoma State game this Friday, so a little bit weird on the streaming schedule. We're still going to do the Buff Blitz. I'm going to do it low tech on my laptop from Greeley, Colorado, where I will be staying with family for Thanksgiving before going to the Buffs game on Friday. If you see me, if you are a Buffs fan in the chat and you are going to be at the game on Friday and you see me, say hello. I would love to see that. Just shows me how much we've grown. I'm going to bring my camera. I'm going to try and interview, talk to people, get some on-the-ground footage, so you guys will get kind of a game day vlog style thing next week at some point once I get back and can edit it. So yeah, guys, this is going to be great. Let's enjoy the week. It's senior week. I want Travis to get as many stats as he can. To the person that said that Colorado is going to run it this week, not when you have Shador and Travis, and not when Travis is up for the Heisman at this point. If we can't get to the Big 12 for whatever reason because BYU wins, hey, stat pad. Boise State did it with Genty for one game. We're not losing Travis and Shador. We are gaining credibility by having a Heisman and number one. That's a great, Gennaro, I love it. I love it. I love that view. They are. The only reason we're getting Juju is because of what Shador did. So my hat's off to both Shador and Travis as they leave us. It was quite a ride. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. Oh, we play an ASU first game. I like that. I like that. I do. Let's go. That's a massive game. Okay, guys, I appreciate you guys so much for coming and hanging out on this wonderful Sunday. You guys have been beautiful, wonderful. Make sure to hit the like on the way out. I appreciate it. You've been doing great numbers. It's so awesome to see, and you guys let me do this. So just know I will always be appreciative of it. I'm never going to not realize that it's you guys that have resulted in me being here and getting to do this. So I really, really do appreciate it. So I will be back Wednesday night for the Buff Blitz. And then Friday, we got Oklahoma State. So let's hope that we are back in it, ready to go. Maybe a blessing in disguise. This shines a light on our biggest weakness, our front seven. Pay close attention this offseason and get better. Yep. Thank you, Gig Pro, for dropping in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Northside. We'll be seeing you guys later. And always and forever will be Go Buffs.